from Time Bandit, and I'm excited about my guest today on Time Bandit in 10. Anastasiia is going to introduce herself in a minute, but I will tell you right from the start that we have a new website at timebandit.io. Please go check that out. There's also a blog about Headway and the conversation we're going to have talking about today. But I've been a Headway customer for, I think, almost 3 years, and I love the efficiency of using the app for learning and for reading and catching up on books, staying in the know. And Anastasiia is going to talk a little bit about that. But first, let's meet her. Anastasiia, could you introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Michael. Hi, all. My name is Anastasiia. I'm a business development manager at the Headway company, and I have been working in the educational sector for the last 5 years. I love reading and self-educating, so that is why I work with books, summaries, and now I help companies educate their employees. Honestly, in my childhood, I wanted to write books, and I did actually. I even self-published 2 hard copies for my loved ones, but I kicked this dream into the long grass and switched to another role. And I admire people who publish their own books, so as you, Michael. And by the way, do you have an audio version of Time Bandit for me to buy it on Amazon?
Yes.
Great.
Yes.
So
Yep.
I'll do it today.
Yes, thank you for mentioning it too. Yes, it's been out since September, and I'll make sure you get a link. Yeah, it's great. Well, it's so great to have you here. We've met before because as we're affiliate, and we love the things that you guys are doing, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. But let's start with the key of the Time Bandit in 10 notion. So, is there a time waster that just drives you crazy out there personally?
Oh, yes, I have several ones. So number one, I think, is TikTok. Sometimes I feel that I'm addicted to this social media, but I know that many people struggle with the same time waster as I am. Our focus span is getting shorter due to 1-minute video content on TikTok and Instagram, so that is why. Second, I don't know whether I can say that I have a little ADHD. I don't know whether it's possible to have a little one, but it's ADHD. It's attention difficult hyperactivity disorder, and sometimes I have bad days. That is how I call them, and it's hard for me to concentrate on the task solely and not be disturbed and distracted. I also need to accumulate all my strengths to listen to a presentation or webinar or etc. for more than 30 minutes and not be distracted. So usually I need to do something with my hands or play some visual games, for example, on my phone. If I have, for example, if I have a planning meeting to set our department goals for the next 3-4 months, and such a call can last up to 2 hours. And my colleagues know that I will open the Impulse app and I will sort candies by colors. I will listen attentively, but that is how I can spend these 2 hours and be productive.
Yeah, well, I would say you're not alone on both of those time wasters. I mean, I'm not on TikTok, but maybe you saw our last guest, Angeline Berryman, who talked about that too, and she's giving herself like limits that she will go through it, and then she has to get off. She does that self moderates for herself. But the meeting thing, I think, is a big thing. It's for everybody. I mean, there's so much information that's coming at us, and when we're not participating in a meeting, it's very hard to stay glued to it, right? Because it's just like you said, our attention spans, etc. So I think those are 2 well articulated time wasters that we all experience and we all challenge ourselves with. And those digital distraction really is something I address in the book, but it's something that we all have to be conscious of. So you're not alone with that. So what about a time management tip? Do you have a favorite tip that you would want to share with the group?
I have also several ones, of course. And I think that if you're aware of your problem, that you have a bad time management, that is a first step. And I think you should be unsatisfied with your planning and schedule, and you need to try to solve it. So there are so many books for special as yours that have different techniques, recommendations, methods, webinars, and you should need to find your path and do your own research. And I think it will be really great fundament for your next steps.
Yep.
Then Put everything into calendar. Set your work tasks and personal life and live after your plan. Actually, I can't imagine my life without my digital Google Calendar.
Yeah.
My mom likes to write everything in her handbook, but
Yeah.
for me, it's too hard to take this hard book with you to all meetings. And the third tip, dream big and be bold with your dreams.
Nice.
Once you have a long-term goal, break it down into smaller steps and steps into tasks. Ideal option, understand what you need to do this week to be closer to that deadline. And to be regular. And I'm regularly late for my personal meetings, and sometimes I do not complete tasks that I planned for the day. So no one is ideal. It's okay. Just need to deal with and to find your path and your technique.
Well, that's a great tip, Anastasia, but especially the review your goals. I think that there's something about just every now and then just review what you need to do today or next week or whatever the time frame is. And then if you miss something, it's okay. It's okay. Now get on it and prioritize it differently and that. So, but don't beat yourself up. Don't linger on the past because it's not going to help you move forward. So those are great tips. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. And now let's get into Headway, because I know our audience is going to want to know about that. And you've been there a few years. It's a company based in Ukraine. It's a high flying. You guys are just doing such a great job. And you're in Ukraine today. The first time I met you, I think you were in Poland. Now you're in Ukraine. I'm glad you're safe. So tell us, maybe start with Headway for individuals. What's the concept, and could you just introduce Headway for us?
Sure. So Headway is a global EdTech startup with Ukrainian roots that develop microlearning solutions for busy adults. And we have 4 applications as for now: Headway, Nibble, Impulse, and Admire. And in total, we help more than 80 million private and corporate users worldwide make self-growth a sustainable habit through customizable formats tailored to their unique needs. And we serve 61% of the book summer revenue as industry leaders.
Wow.
So just some big words, big numbers.
Yeah.
And we have all our applications are about microlearning, and we are experts in this field. Just I would like a little bit introduce what microlearning is. It's an educational approach that delivers knowledge in bite-sized chunks. It's a new learning method that was emerged in 2014. The average person spends around 7 hours per day on internet-connected screens. That's too much, I think. With microlearning, people can access educational content anytime, anywhere, on any device. And whether it's just listening to a book summary during commute or completing a quick interactive quiz during lunch break, microlearning seamlessly integrates into busy routines and ensuring consistent progress. And the modular nature of microlearning enables people to progress at their own pace. So they take small steps, manageable ones, toward their self-development goals, bigger ones, that something that we discussed before. And big bite-sized formats also make navigating large amounts of content easier and help customize the experience, as I said. And it's also improves and enhances our retention, and it's much easier to consume the information in 15 minutes. And there's a huge, bigger research about microlearning. If you would like to, you can dive deep into this topic and find more information about it. And Headway for individuals is a great application where you can find world best nonfiction book summaries in 15 minutes. It's possible to read or listen to it. And we have, I think, most titles that are maybe worldwide known. And we have English and Spanish books. And by the way, we also launched Ukrainian ones from Ukrainian authors.
That's great, and I'll just tell you how I use it, and you'll probably relate to this. But what I love about it, I may pick a topic, sales and marketing, for example, or maybe self help or something, dietary, whatever, and you guys recommend so many books in those categories. So what's really nice about it, if you're a team or an individual and you have a particular topic that you're kind of wanted to follow, you guys recommend the books, and you can just go through them one by one. And like you said, that micro learning makes it so easy. And I do come across books through the summary that I really want to dig deeper into, and you provide an easy link out to an online bookstore where I can buy it at that point and dig deeper if I choose to. But I just think it's so convenient because you get the key concepts, and you have this mechanism that you can flag kind of the key thoughts that you like, and you can share them, remember them, so you can go back and review it later. It's just it's really a handy app. And in addition to learning, it's also such a time saver, because keeping up with the amount of books that are published is quite onerous, for many of us, because like you said, we're busy on calls, or we're busy with our regular jobs, and finding that time between family to read all the time is not it. But when I go for a walk, I think I do two books usually on Headway while I walk my dog every day. So it's an easy way to combine tasks too. So that's great. So you mentioned individuals and teams. Do you want to mention a little bit about how teams can consume Headway?
Sure. So we also offer our Headway for Business solution for companies from 5 seats, from 5 employees. And our solution has extended features as an admin panel, analytics, customization, customer support. We also launched a soft skill test where you can measure 5 primary soft skills: time management, leadership, negotiating, and others. And you can understand where you have a soft skill gap, and with our application you can close those gaps, and we will recommend relevant literature. And with Headway, you can make wiser decisions at work and in your personal life.
That's fantastic. Well, thank you so much, Anastasiia. We've overrun our 10 minutes, but I think it was worth hearing from you on both your tips were fantastic. Thank you for sharing that personally, and then the information on Headway. As I mentioned before, we are an affiliate, and in the links in the comments of whether you're looking at this in LinkedIn or YouTube, I put a link that you can get directly to the Headway site, and you could look for the app and buy the app, etc. You can also reach Anastasiia if you want to put comments out there or questions, or DM me directly, and I'll get them to Anastasiia. If you have questions about, as a business, how you might want to apply these techniques as well, then I will make sure that Anastasiia sees your questions. So thank you so much, all the way from Ukraine, Anastasiia. Great to see you today. Wonderful that we could join. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful weekend ahead. And thanks everyone for joining. Next week, we're going to talk to, speaking of books and publishers, Anastasiia, Lucy McCarr from Rethink Publishing. It's a press company out of UK, and they actually published Time Bandit. But looking forward to having Lucy on board, because she's an entrepreneur. In addition to Rethink, she has Book Builder and other businesses, and we're going to do the same conversation with her next week. So please join in. Thank you very much, Anastasiia. Take care. Talk to you soon.
Thank you. Thank you, Michael.